Hey folks, how's it going? My name is Danny Royce and I'm the founder and owner of FIT, Focus on Inner Transformation. I'd like to thank you so much for watching this video. Now today, I want to discuss 8 so-called healthy foods that are causing you belly flab. You want to know what they are? Stay tuned because you're about to find out. Number 1 on my list is whole wheat bread, bagels, and pasta. Now, you already likely know that these refined versions of these carbs are off limits if you want a slim, tight waistline, right? But the whole wheat versions are supposed to be so much healthier, right? Not the case. While these versions may be slight improvements from their refined cousins, these still are a far cry from the true whole grains themselves. True whole grains contain the entire grain, the germ, the endosperm, and the bran. Now, in these refined versions, the bran and the endosperm are removed, therefore removing vitamins B, iron, and fiber. Now, the fact of the matter is, this milling process to create flour, even flour from whole wheat, essentially goes through a pre-digest system. And it grinds the grain smaller and smaller so it can be more rapidly digestible. As a matter of fact, the average whole wheat bread has a similar glycemic index to white bread, which is also made from refined flour. Speaking of glycemic index, what is it? It is a measure of how quickly and significantly the carbs from the food are broken down and enter into the bloodstream. As what? Sugar. In a 2000 review, the USDA listed benefits of consuming a low glycemic diet: micronutrient and fiber intake, increased feeling of fullness, decreased hunger, lower energy intake in subsequent meals, fat loss, better fasting insulin and blood sugar concentrations, consumption of higher glycemic, fast digesting, pre-packaged processed carbs like you find in all of these grocery stores have a negative effect. Elevations in blood sugar and insulin concentrations. Blood triglyceride levels are high, and it increases your LDL levels, which is your bad cholesterol. So next time you pick up a loaf of whole wheat bread, bagels, or you get that favorite whole wheat pasta of yours, make sure you check on the back to make sure it has the whole grain. Number 2. Fruit juice and dried fruit. A vast majority of nutritionists out there would concur that fruits are very good for you. They're Mother Nature's dessert. Now, a vast majority of nutritionists out there would concur that fruit in moderation is very healthy and nutrient dense. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, fiber, the list goes on. Eating a diet rich in fruit and vegetables reduces the risk of heart disease, including stroke and heart attacks. It protects against certain types of cancers, reduces the risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes. It lowers your blood pressure, helps reduce the risk of kidney stones, and help decrease bone loss. That's quite a laundry list of health benefits for you from eating fruits and vegetables. That's why I recommend 1 to 2 servings each meal period of fruits or vegetables in moderation. In a study that appeared in European Journal of Nutrition, they compared people who ate whole apples to people who just drank apple juice. Surprisingly, the results, people who ate whole apples had a decreased level of LDLs, your bad cholesterol, and people who drank apple juice had an increase in LDLs. The researchers attributed this find to the juicing process. During the juicing process, it takes away polyphenol and pectin and a lot of its fiber from the apple. As I said before, low fiber intakes really boost your chances of obesity and diabetes. Now, when it comes to fruit juice, it's also very, very important to highlight serving sizes. Single medium-sized orange contains about 60 calories, 15 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fiber, and 12 grams of sugar. 8-ounce glass of commercial orange juice, on the other hand, contains double the amount of calories, carbs, and sugar. Now, the mindful thinking that we have, you can down an 8-ounce glass of orange juice like that, where it takes a little more time to peel an orange and get your fill. Now, it's very important to know that I'm talking about store-bought fruit juices. Now, you want to check the labels and make sure it says 100% juice. 100% juice, no additives, no artificial flavors, nothing. Unfortunately, dried fruit is roughly in the same boat as fruit juices, with the serving sizes and added sugar. Cup for cup, dried fruit can actually have 8 times more the calories than its fresh fruit counterpart. For example, a cup of grapes contains about 60 calories and 16 grams of carbs. On the contrary, a cup of raisins contain 430 calories and a whopping 150 grams of carbs with, might add, 86 grams of sugar. I'm not saying don't eat dried fruits at all. Actually, it comes in very handy when you're not using any other sweetener substitute like honey or agave. In your oatmeal, for instance, I put dried raisins or dried dates. Nothing else. But when you're eating these dried fruits, please be mindful of your portion size. Up to number 3. All right, so number 3 is smoothies. Now, these are the smoothies that you find in the stores. All right, these are not fresh smoothies. Now, if your goal is to lose weight and get in shape and really tighten up that waistline, you know better than to go drink a soda, sports drinks, energy drinks, stay away from all that stuff. After all, a can of soda can contain up to 40 grams, even more, of sugar. And that's not going to be good for your waistline. Now, what may shock you is that something that people reach for all the time to improve their waistline, that's right, those smoothies, can hold up to 3 times more sugar than a can of soda. That's up to 120 grams of sugar, even more. Stores really push these smoothies on you to lose weight, get in shape, and meal replacements, right? And contain 120 grams of sugar and upwards, which is astronomical. As a point of reference, that's a whopping 25 teaspoons of refined sugar. Now, tell me if that's healthy. Once more, these carbon-laden foods have a big impact on insulin. As a storage hormone, insulin's job is to push nutrients into the body's tissues, liver, and muscles. Push them in there. Now, with this amount of sugar and carbs, it can really slow down the fat burning process. Insulin is notorious for putting the brakes on the fat burning process. Another hormone called glucagon is well known for its ability to counteract that. Glucagon, which is secreted by the pancreas, is released in response to low levels of blood glucose and protein intake. As a matter of fact, high protein levels stimulate this glucose and fat burning process. So if your personal trainer told you, don't forget your protein shake, he was right. So now if you want a protein shake, or any shake at all, I would say stay away from these sugar-laden, waist-building, nasty shops and make your own. Actually, I have a great recipe down below you can check after this video. Number 4, corn. Corn is a vegetable, right? Duh. What the heck is it doing on this list? Commonly referred to as maize, corn is actually a grain. Now, that distinction doesn't necessarily make it bad for you. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of grains out there that are great for you for weight loss, such as steel-cut oats, amaranth, quinoa, couscous, barley, spelt, wild rice, other grains, the list goes on. Now, these are different because they're minimally processed grains, and they provide a myriad of benefits. They're high in naturally occurring intact fiber, which helps you go, which is great for everybody. They're slow digesting, which helps them stabilize blood sugar and energy levels. They're loaded with naturally occurring vitamins and minerals, which, that's the way Mother Nature intended it, right? Organically grown corn on the cob is not as much of the problem as the myriad of corn-based products on the shelves today. Now in America, corn is one of the top 4 heavily subsidized crops. Nearly 90% of corn crops in the US are genetically modified. Now that's another topic and discussion all in itself. One notable ingredient derived from corn that has gotten a lot of attention over the past few years is high fructose corn syrup, which in high amounts can lead to obesity, cardiovascular disease, weight gain, diabetes, insulin resistance. I'm not knocking organically grown corn. If you grow your own corn, that's awesome. Send me some, please. However, the more heavily processed the corn is, and you'll find them in cereals, tortillas, snacks, baked goods, they're going to exhibit significantly higher glycemic index, and they have very little amount of fiber. Now, we all know that contributes to a spike of blood sugar and insulin levels, which is a weight loss disaster. Number 5, high fiber cereals. What? I thought fiber was great for me. It cleanses my GI tract. As I've discussed before, researchers have linked low fiber diets to increased risks of diabetes and obesity. Now, you love your cereal, right? Because I know I do. Many cereals that boast these high amounts of fiber are awesome, right? No. You have to proceed with caution. You need to ask yourself some questions like, is fiber a naturally occurring component from the whole grain? Or is it more of an isolated fake fiber like soy fiber that was added to the product later on? Or perhaps the wheat bran added back to the product separately instead of naturally the way it's supposed to be, whole. These are all great questions. Interestingly, when researchers compared high glycemic corn-based cereals to low glycemic wheat brand cereals, there were some interesting results. The low glycemic index of high fiber brand cereal was not, due to the fact that it was more slowly digested. Rather, it seemed to have a lower glycemic impact because of how quickly it was absorbed. It's also important to note that one of the culprits in these high fiber brand cereals is sugar, and we all know where that goes. When it comes to buying a box of cereal, you want to stay to the organic or whole grain, like sprouted grains. Number 6, baked potato chips, pretzels, and popcorn. You want a healthy snack? Why not grab a handful of pretzels, popcorn, or baked potato chips? They gotta be better than their fried counterparts, right? No. Actually, baked potato chips contain more health-damaging ingredients like additives and preservatives, and are more heavily processed than the regular potato chips. Now, dried potatoes are subjected to very high levels of heat. This can cause the starches to form a compound called acrylamide, which can be terrible for your health. Also, baked potato chips frequently contain genetically modified corn and soy-based ingredients. Now, pretzels, which are frequently hailed as a low-fat snack, can be placed right on the shelves with those baked potato chips. They are made from the same high glycemic refined flour as white bread, and they contain some genetically modified corn-based products like baked potato chips. Lacking in healthy fats, protein, and fiber, there's no reason why pretzels and potato chips made it to a great snack like they are. You really can't just eat one, right? Because they do nothing to satisfy your appetite. As a matter of fact, if you ever manage to remove your hand from the bag before it's all empty, you'll find yourself going right back to it to get that carb craving you desire after your sugar crash. Popcorn may also be added to this category. Store-bought and movie theater popcorn varieties typically loaded with inflammatory fats, trans fats, and sodium. As mentioned before, nearly 90% of all corn crops here in the US are genetically modified. Popcorn, corn. See how that works? I call them fat traps because they do nothing for your appetite and they encourage unlimited portion control. Number 7, trail mix. God, this list just keeps getting better and better. Most store-bought trail mixes can take a hike. No pun intended. The vast majority of trail mix includes nuts, mostly peanuts. Dried fruit, as we discussed before, a big no-no, and oftentimes chocolate, or in essence, you have a heavily processed, high-carb, high-fat snack. Beautiful. It's great. The combination is not the greatest in your goal for fat loss. Trail mix is a very calorie-dense snack. Most people don't have the one serving, which is about 1 ounce. One popular trail mix contains 150 calories per ounce, 9 grams of fat, and 11 grams of sugar. Considering most people will eat double that amount, you can see why this is not very good on your waistline. Foods like nuts and chocolate are actually great healthy snacks for you. But I recommend going the organic route, getting raw nuts and organic chocolate instead of its regular counterparts. As a matter of fact, most regular nuts are often fried in oil, canola, or peanut. This high heat process may actually change the health characteristics of the nut and actually add trans fats. Now, if you want to add something unique to your trail mix, try cacao nibs or Carob Chips. You can actually check a recipe down in the bottom below. One of my organic trail mix recipes you can create at home. My 8th and final so-called healthy food. Have you guys guessed it? Granola. Now, I love granola cereal. Well, I used to, until I found this out. I love granola cereal. It was amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, there are healthier versions of granola. But the ones you see on the shelves right now, not so much. Now, overall, granola seems pretty healthy, right? Nuts and oats. Unfortunately, most commercial preparations include additives of sugar, fats, oils, and calorie-dense dried fruits. For example, one popular brand of granola can contain up to 14 grams of sugar in only a half a cup. Also, you'll probably find at least 4 types of refined sugar when you read the label. Although commonly thought of as a healthy snack, granola bars are a microcosm of granola. Now, granola bars are nearly always packed with refined sugars, processed ingredients, unhealthy oils, including high fructose corn syrup. Due to the high glycemic carbs and the low levels of protein and fiber, you're going to be looking for a high carb snack in no time. You want to stick to your organic granola once again. Also, bars like Kind, Cliff, they have some granola in there as well, which is great for you. Just make sure you take a look at the back. Really look at that label. Now listen, I know healthy eating is not the easiest thing to do. Even I have trouble with it sometimes. It requires a lifestyle modification. It requires transformation on how you live, eat, and think. Remember, if you're starting a new diet and you want to get off some of these things, it's going to take time. These things don't happen overnight, so don't beat yourself up about it. We live in a world of technology. So eating healthy doesn't necessarily mean you have to put away all your favorite foods like pizza, ice cream, potato chips, pretzels. There are actually tons and tons of information out there, recipes, and great chefs at these restaurants that can prepare the healthier version of your favorite meal. At the end of the day, eating healthy typically involves a wide variety of minimally processed foods and one ingredient based foods, a good balance of proteins, healthy fats, and high fiber carbs. Nothing processed. Stay away from processed foods. I encourage you to redefine your definition of healthy eating. My name is Danny Royce. Thank you for watching Fit. Focus on inner transformation. I'll see you on the other side. Now folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the drop box below. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Royce Fit. Thank you so much, folks. Be blessed and be fit.